Hey guys, this is Becca and this is video 5 of 2018. This is my second week working on the lesson 1 DrawABox section and actually my first week of actually really drawing a lot of boxes. I wanted to give you guys a little bit of background on DrawABox because I didn't really talk about it very much last week. So DrawABox.com is an all online program, and the gentleman who put it together is named Irshad Kareem, otherwise known as Uncomfortable on Reddit. I don't know anything about Reddit, so I cannot tell you much about that, but that's his username. Something that is really unique and cool about this program is that it is totally free, which is crazy. You can, if you would like to get critiques, go to Patreon and give, I think it's between $3 and $20 a month, and you can get personal critiques for your work, which is also crazy. Like $20 a month, that's nuts. So that was another reason why I picked this program, is it's just really accessible to a lot of people. So I was hoping that if I did it, other people could also join in and kind of go through the experience with me. So if you are, write in the comments and tell me how you think everything's going. When I first looked at DrawABox, when people had suggested it, I was sort of like a little bit overwhelmed. There is a lot going on the website. But I very quickly kind of figured out how things worked and the flow of the lessons. So if you got on and you felt like, whew, this is a lot happening, don't worry, it gets easier once you figure it out. It's actually pretty straightforward. Another thing that can add some complexity to it, I guess, is that it is done on a lot of different platforms. And I think this is awesome because not everybody learns the same way. So they have a YouTube channel, which is awesome. I will link to it. Obviously the website, which has all the lessons and some other like funny things like comics and whatnot. They have Patreon where you can throw some money at him, and a lot of the stuff is also done on Reddit. So I had to set up a Reddit account, which I had never done before, and I tried for like 15 minutes to think of a funny, clever name, but eventually just went with Becca Rand because I guess I'm not funny or clever. I don't know. I tried so hard. I was like trying to think of funny things, but Becca Rand, that's what I went with. So that's where all the critiques are done. So you do actually have to be on Reddit if you want to do the critiques. It's not that bad. You literally just pick a username and like make a password. It's fine. And then lastly, they have something called the Discord server, which I had no idea what that was. I set up an account, I got on and I was like, what the heck is this? I kind of poked around and I was like, this is probably not for me. And I think that's fine. You don't have to use all of the resources. You can just use whatever works for you. A few little kind of details about it is there are some rules. You have to use fine liner, so felt tip markers for everything, which I was like not super dying to do, but out of respect, I understand why they want you to do that. So I am using markers for these, and it's almost all freehand. So you're not plotting things out with a ruler, you're literally drawing lines with your hands, which I think is really important because this program to me is much more of an intuition based versus mathematical or calculation based, which obviously that did not work for me in the past. So I'm hoping that this direction is a little bit more efficient for the way that I like to learn. The specifics, what I actually did. So this week I did the rotated box exercises and also the organic perspective exercises. And I did these a bunch of times, not like a million times, but enough times till I felt like I understood what was supposed to be happening, even when it wasn't necessarily happening. And this is something they make really clear, is that you are not supposed to just grind away at these exercises over and over again until you perfect them. You're just supposed to move through them and revisit them when you have a little bit more context. And this is something that I kind of wish I had done with Watts earlier on. I don't know if anybody's been around this long. I spent a lot of time repeating the same thing over and over again with Watts, and I think that was probably not the best way to do it. Like, I spent 3 weeks in a row drawing the same skull images. That's like 50 hours of skulls. And that's not to say that you don't need that. You need way more than that if you want to be good, but probably 50 hours in a row of the same thing is not the way to approach it. So from now on, I'm kind of focusing more on moving through things, understanding that it's not going to be like you can learn something and be done and never revisit it again, because that was sort of how I had hoped that this was going to go. But I know, so naive and young, foolish. But the truth is, you always have to revisit things. You're never done with anything. So that's kind of how I'm approaching these perspective studies. Whew. that was a lot. Onto the drawings.